What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Box Office Dynasty. We are your hosts. I'm Jack,
And I'm Josh.
and we're here to talk to you about the Oscars today. We have a great episode. We have a little special surprise guest coming in later. We're gonna go over
Same
some
guest
news.
as always, but
Same guest. We love him. We love him. We love to have him. We're gonna go over some news, pick a new Bible study film, and do the box office numbers as usual, and then get into the Oscars race. The nominations were released a couple days ago, so we're gonna get really, really into that. Josh, how you doing on this cold winter day, buddy?
dude, what a snowstorm we got, right? I mean,
A little
that was
overhyped.
crazy.
A little
Well,
overhyped, in my opinion.
it was exactly what I thought it would be, which is everyone was saying it was gonna be like 2 feet, right? And I was like, nah, we're gonna get like
2 feet.
maybe close to a foot.
Yeah, we got
And
like
we
10
did. We got
inches.
like 10 inches. So that was and that's a lot. You know what I mean? Hey, 10 inches
It's
is
too
a lot.
much.
That some people would say it's too many inches.
It's way too many,
Really,
in my
like,
opinion.
I think
You can't
think,
take
like,
10 inches.
I don't know. I mean, like 4 inches of snow is is probably average, right? Like that's, I mean, right?
Honestly, I probably can't take 4 inches of snow either.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I would want to take even 2 inches of snow, but it's fine.
We could test that out later, though. It's fine.
But, what an exciting time, though. I mean, this is really. I mean, the Oscar season is what we've been waiting for all year. We started this podcast right after the Oscar season ended last year when Anora
We were
won
inspired.
Best Picture. And we're like, oh man, can't wait for a whole year when we can start to cover it. And obviously we have. We talked about the Critics' Choice, we talked about the Golden Globes, but this is the big kahuna. We're going to go over the Oscar
Yes, sir.
nominations. I'm very excited for it. I know we have a couple of tiny news nuggets first, though. Would you like to go first?
Yeah, I have. It's kind of big news in the Star Wars community. Kathleen Kennedy, when she stepped down to as the president of Lucasfilm, and then Dave Filoni took over, she had a lot of parting words about the future of Star Wars. So she made comments on Star Wars movies that were in development and the progress of those. She said that it's really up to the new team to figure out what's going on because obviously she's leaving. But this is what she said about each thing. She said Rian Johnson's trilogy, that's been in discussion for a very long time, has been put on the back burner, and we all kind of assume that. She said the Dawn of the Jedi film is on hold after reading an incredible script. So, on hold after an incredible script, kind of weird, but whatever. She said Donald Glover's Lando project has a script. So we got a script for that. It's not canceled or anything. We kind of
Just
all
dragging
assumed,
its feet.
I know. I kind of assumed it was gone because nobody's
Yeah.
talked about it. So they got a script for Lando
When did they announce that? That was like 4 or 5 years ago, at least,
a long
right?
time ago. And then everything they announced since then has pretty much been canceled except for
Yeah.
this. Taika Waititi has a script, and Kathleen Kennedy said it was hilarious and great. All right, that's fine. Hunt for Ben Solo, she labeled as a possibility but a big risk, so that's probably never going to happen.
That's the Steven Soderbergh led film that they were looking at, right?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think that that's going to happen, especially she's labeling it as a risk, but we all want that risk, so I don't know. She doesn't mention anything about Daisy Ridley coming back as Rey, but that was confirmed, so I don't know why this even has that mentioned. And then Simon Kinberg's trilogy is in development. So he's getting his own Star Wars trilogy.
Okay.
Lot of news there. What do you think? What's going through your head when you're hearing all that?
Who's taking over? Dave Filoni and someone else. It's 2 people, right?
I
Head of
heard Dave
Lucasfilm?
Filoni. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Jon Favreau, but I feel like I would have
It
heard
wasn't
that.
him. It was that. Otherwise, I would have remembered. It was a name that I didn't know, and that's why I'm not sure.
Let's see.
Dave
Dave Filoni and Lin-Wyn Brennan.
Yeah, Star Wars is in a really it's in flux right now, and we talked about this in our over/under segment. Like, where is it right now? Is it overrated or underrated? Like, in last week's episode, Star Wars is great, but there is not much direction for where they want to take this franchise. And even now, they're just kind of spinning a lot of wheels. They're just kind of throwing shit at the wall. and we'll see if any of it even comes to fruition. There's some really exciting stuff there, but then you have Filoni coming in, who apparently wasn't a fan of Andor, which is one of the best things Lucasfilm has made
Yeah,
in years.
that's insane.
So there's some cautious excitement about a new era of Star Wars for sure, but really heavy on the cautious part of it because this is, I don't know,
I
doesn't
think they
sound too
really
great.
they just need to lock in on one piece of work. I mean, the fact that this is like Ryan Johnson's trilogy, Dawn of the Jedi film, Lando, Taika Waititi's film, Simon Kinberg's trilogy, like Hunt for Ben Solo, like that's so much happening at once. That's all the undisclosed, like we don't really know much about it. And then we have the stuff that we do know about, Mandalorian and Grogu, Darth Maul, Shadow Lord, like all this new stuff. Like it's probably Star Wars Visions. I don't know if we're getting a fourth season. I wouldn't be surprised if we are. Um, I don't know. It just seems like a lot to be so spread thin. It's everything and nothing at once. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure half the shit we're not actually going to get anyway.
It's pretty similar to the MCU, right? I mean, and even then, I'll give the MCU some more credit that they at least have a direction.
Yeah.
It changes every 2 seconds. But Star Wars, what is it building up to, if anything? Nothing. I mean, they're just doing stuff. And okay, all right, maybe you don't have to have everything leading to some big climactic film, event, whatever. But you're right. It feels, like I said, very sporadic, very just all over the map. So what kind of quality can we expect out of any of these projects when half of them have been in production hell for years?
Yeah.
So we'll see. I wouldn't be entirely surprised, by the way, speaking of Kathleen Kennedy, if she, because I read that they're looking for a new Disney CEO to take over for Bob Iger.
No way.
It wouldn't completely shock me if Kathleen Kennedy is high on their list to replace Bob Iger.
That would be like such an insane mistake, dude. That would be like that's how out of touch they are that they probably would hire her.
She just, she has so many years of experience producing in the industry. She obviously has worked with Disney as a top executive for Lucasfilm for years.
Yeah.
So I just, because this is like a sidebar to the whole Star Wars thing since she's stepping down, and I know they're looking to have, I mean, this is Bob Iger's second tenure when he came back in for Bob Chapek because that was a
Uh-huh.
disaster. So I wouldn't be totally surprised if she's high on that list.
Damn. Yeah, so Star Wars, shit's going crazy. Let's just focus on one trilogy and get it out there. How about that?
How about we get a movie?
Yeah,
We
let's
haven't
just
had a
get
Star Wars movie since 2019.
we're getting Mandalorian and Grogu, but
Oh, whoop-de-doo.
yeah,
All right, I have two quick things.
sure.
One is this Doomsday battle that is going on at the end of this year. They are both Dune Part 3, should be Dune Messiah, but whatever. Dune Part 3 and Avengers Doomsday are both scheduled to release on the same day, December, what is it, 18th? December 18th, 2026. But here's the fun caveat. Dune secured an exclusive IMAX window for 3 weeks before Marvel could, meaning that Doomsday is shut out from an IMAX release until 2027. So for 3 weeks, Doomsday will still have standard and Dolby, but filmed for IMAX screens will be exclusively Dune Part 3. It'll be interesting to see how this changes both studios' approach to that release date. Two highly anticipated films, two of the biggest films of the year, probably. And neither studio, Warner Brothers and Disney, seem eager to back off of that date. So, and Dune has the exclusivity window right now.
I don't even know how Dune managed to snag that before Doomsday did. I do think Doomsday is going to change their date. I think they'll say they won't to kind of scare Dune, but at the end of the day, they're not going to miss
They
that
want those.
window.
Dune has no reason to move. They have the IMAX
Yeah,
window.
they
Like,
have
why
no
would they
reason.
move?
They're going to make bank,
Um,
dude.
so we'll see. But if Doomsday wanted to change it, they'd have to move it up, not back.
I'm
Otherwise,
fine
they'd be
with that.
put.
I'll see it early.
Otherwise, they would be pushing the film out of 2026 entirely, and I don't think that is Marvel's plan.
No, I don't think so. Well, no, they wouldn't do that.
So we'll see. I'm not totally surprised that Dune was on top of that because that is a very IMAX purposed kind of film. Doomsday
Yeah.
was not filmed on IMAX. It was probably filmed on digital. So, not surprised that Dune was very on top of getting there first. But you're right. The power of Marvel and Kevin Feige is a little surprising.
Yeah.
So I just
Really.
wanted to throw that out there because I know we're both. You're anticipating Doomsday more than me, but we're both anticipating both of these films, and
Yeah.
it's going to be a big weekend. So we'll see what happens. And the other thing I had that I thought this was wild, absolutely can't even believe this. During yesterday's AFC Championship game between the Patriots and the Broncos, Universal released a new teaser for the Odyssey that revealed that Travis Scott is going to be in the Odyssey.
What?
Yeah. Travis Scott will be in the Odyssey. He was
Christopher
cast
Nolan
in the
cast
Odyssey.
Travis Scott in anything?
Yeah.
That's
Well, they have a
insane.
little bit of a history back around the time of Tenet. Christopher Nolan complimented Travis Scott's music video at the time and the way it was filmed, and he was a big fan of it. He thought it was really intriguing work. I was reading about. So yes, Travis Scott, and there is a first look picture online to be able to find it. But Travis Scott is going to be in the Odyssey. Look, he has a history of this. He put Harry Styles in Dunkirk.
I know. Yeah, you're right. But
He put
I don't
Josh
know.
Peck in
He
Oppenheimer.
did put John and Roderick from Diary of a Kid.
Right. So I mean,
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
there are
It's
people
just so
online who are like
crazy.
there are people hating on it online. I don't know. I love Chris Nolan. Travis Scott in the Odyssey, fuck it. You know
It's
what I
funny.
mean? Like,
I mean, he's also gonna
why
be in
not?
like one
Yeah,
minute. Like,
he,
he's not gonna be in it a
it looks
lot.
like he's going to be part of the Siege of Troy.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. But like people are like, oh, Travis Scott, is he an actor? Well, I don't know. Let's find out. Who else to test those waters than Christopher freaking
Yeah.
Nolan?
If Christopher Nolan has faith in him, then so do I.
Then I do too. So I don't know. That has me all the more intrigued for the Odyssey, because what the hell, So
Yeah. That's pretty
all
hype.
right. Let's keep this show on the road though. How about that? So we're gonna pick a new Bible study film today. Essentially, what that looks like for anyone who doesn't know, I'm gonna speed run this explanation. We have a book. We call it our film Bible. It's the New York Times Book of Movies. People online comment numbers. Those numbers correlate to films in here. We pick one. We watch the film that correlates to it.
Yeah.
So last week we watched Boat People, and now we're going to pick a new film. This is always our favorite part of this. I got the wheel right here.
Let it rip.
Let it rip, baby. What are you, Matt Damon?
The rip.
And
What do we
we are
got?
watching number 57.
57. We always get the low numbers.
I know, we do, right?
Okay, I see it.
I also have it up. I'm just pulling it up on Letterboxd because I've actually never heard of this one before. So the film that we are watching is
What are we watching?
called Amoris Perros. I hope I'm saying that right.
You're 100% not.
It's directed by Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu. That I know how to say because he's done other films before that we've heard of. Birdman, The Revenant. So he's known. This is from 2000. It's a fatalistic car crash in Mexico City sets off a chain of events in the lives of three people: a supermodel, a young man wanting to run off with his sister-in-law, and a homeless man. Gael Garcia Bernal, you might know him. He was in Werewolf by Night.
Oh yeah, I like him.
He's in it. So this looks like it's one of Iñárritu's earlier films. Very excited though. It has very good ratings. It looks interesting. I've never heard of it before. But I've seen Birdman. I've seen The Revenant. I love those films. So this should be fun.
Cool, man. I'm excited.
Have you ever seen either of those?
I saw Birdman. I actually didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
and I never saw The Revenant. So,
It was funny is The Revenant's getting like a re-release in IMAX or something. So now,
oh really?
talk that's funny timing. But
No,
anyway,
yeah,
so
I never saw it.
thank you to who commented number 57, Maurice Perros. We in 2 episodes, 2 weeks, we will watch and review this film.
Yeah, make sure to
Um,
keep commenting numbers. We love to get those numbers, and we like to watch these movies.
please comment numbers, and maybe the next film we watch will be yours. Well, not yours, but the one you comment.
Well, unless you were a director and
Unless,
you made this movie,
unless you're Alejandro Inarritu and you commented number 57, in which
could
case we're
be.
watching your film.
If you
Uh,
were a director and your movie was in this book, though, you would 100% comment your own number.
yeah, but if I was a director and my movie's in that book, I'm not watching the box office dynasty. So,
That you don't know that for sure. You don't know that for sure.
all right, you're fair. That's fair. Why don't we move on to some box office numbers real quick? Just keeping the show on the road. I'm just eager for the Oscars, so we're like bang, 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 everything else.
Yeah.
These are your box office numbers for the weekend of January 23rd through the 25th. In fifth place, in its second weekend of release, making $3.6 million, is 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. So it's doing pretty good for what, 46 million worldwide. I don't know what its projections were, but I would have liked to see this get a little more marketing push. I think it just is such an incredible film that deserves more eyeballs on it. So, that's, a 71.2% drop from its first weekend. Definitely
Yeah,
not
I haven't
inspiring a lot of
really
confidence.
I haven't really been seeing much about it besides just word of mouth that it's good. Not a lot of like commercials or
Yeah.
trailers or anything like that.
It's January. You know what I mean? That's
I
just,
know.
it's just that time of year. In fourth place in its sixth weekend of release, and you'll see by these how many weekends it's been there that it is January. Is making $4.2 million more is The Housemaid, starring Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried. In third place in its ninth weekend of release, making $5.7 million more is Zootopia 2,
Of course.
currently at $1.7 billion worldwide. Massive success. I'm surprised, Jack, that we haven't gotten a Zootopia 3 announcement yet.
Yeah, you'd think immediately we're getting that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they're saving it for a special time or something.
Yeah. In second place, in its sixth weekend of release, finally dethroned from number one, but still pocketing $7 million more domestically, is Avatar: Fire and Ash. So we covered a little bit last week about how this film, obviously still massively successful, $1.3 billion worldwide. Holy shit. But compared to the first two, a huge, step down.
Yeah.
So finally, after 5 weeks in the number one spot, Avatar falls to number two. Taking its spot in number one in its opening weekend of release, making $11.1 million, is the new film Mercy, starring Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson. This is a film that takes place in the near future where a detective is on trial for the murder of his wife, and he has 90 minutes to prove his innocence to an AI judge that he created. That's kind of what I'm getting out of it. So not hearing great things about it from a review standpoint. I haven't seen it, probably won't get a chance to in the near future.
Doubt it.
But it still won the box office. So, at least there were, $11.1 million worth of theater goers who did go see this movie.
Yeah.
So,
We like to see it. We like to see people going to the movies, and even though the movie doesn't look like we're gonna enjoy it too much, good for them.
yeah. Well, so congratulations to Mercy on winning the box office the weekend of January 23rd through the 25th. Those are your box office numbers. And with that, it is time to discuss the 98th Academy Award nominations. Before we get into that, like Jack said, we're going to bring in a special guest. We all know him from our previous 2 episodes. Not Brandon. Brandon never came back. Maybe we'll have Brandon back one day. But our friend, our pal Killian is going to join us. Joined once again by our favorite and, well, usually only guest, three
Damn.
Favorite
time,
and least favorite.
so, yeah, well, there have been two,
You just did Brandon so dirty.
Oh, true. Yeah.
No,
That
we
wasn't
love
anyone's fault.
Brandon. You know what? When Last of Us season 3 comes out, Brandon will come
If
back to
He'll
talk about it.
make his return.
if we watch it, yes, for sure.
Yeah, if anyone watches it. Joining us is 3-time Emmy winner Killian.
Yep.
Welcome back to the
That
show.
is me. Thank
Always
you.
love having you
Welcome
here.
back,
Always
Yeah,
a pleasure.
always happy to listen, always happy to join, always happy to talk about movies. I mean, after the Oscars were announced, the first person I called was Josh, and we just yapped for my whole car ride, 45 minutes. And I'm just as excited to talk to him as I was when we started talking about it. So you could just never get enough of Josh and never get enough about movies. So
Yeah,
happy to
dude.
talk with Jack
I've
too
had
about
enough
this.
about him.
I've
had
I'll
enough of
replace
him.
you. Yeah, it's okay. We've talked about that. I'm the stand-in.
Jack's stepping out for a coffee break right
Yeah,
now.
please take my job.
Absolutely.
Well, we're glad you're here because today we're going to do a little round table where we're going to go through all the nominations for the 98th Academy Awards. We got a lot. This is an incredible year. I mean, especially compared to Killian, we were talking about before you joined. We started this podcast right after last year's Oscar season.
Mhm.
When
You just
Anora won
missed
Best
it.
Picture. We just missed it.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at the nominations this year, and I think this is where I'm going to start before we really get into it, is like before we talk about specifics, just what your guys' thoughts are on the overall nomination pool this year. Because when I look at it and I compare it to just last year, I mean, it is night and day. I mean, these are some incredible films. It's been an incredible year. What do you guys think about this pool of nominees that we got?
I'm excited. I've seen 7 of the 10 and I loved all 7. So I'm happy.
Yeah, I don't even know how many I've seen, actually. That's a good question. No, I'm excited too. I think there's a lot of uh movies and actors and just that you're like, oh, this is probably gonna win this, but I would not be surprised if there's just a sneak attack from someone else. Like, I feel like everybody has an equal chance at this point for every category. As much as you'll have a prediction for something, I feel like they can just throw in a random winner, and I'm very excited to see that because I want that to happen. I want a little surprise.
And the Oscars, they do that every year, and we're going to see that in a second here when we get into these nominations.
And you said surprise, but I wouldn't even be opposed. Like that's the difference too.
No.
Yeah. It'd be awesome.
It's funny because we do our predictions, and obviously we're all like battling each other to have the best, the most correct predictions. But like the fun is when you get the announcement and you're like, "Whoa!" Like I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Like when Jacob Elordi won Best Supporting Actor at the Critics' Choice, and I saw that on my phone, I was like, "Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein won?" That surprised me. Pleasantly, but it surprised me.
Well, and to
I've
be
seen
fair,
9 of the Best Picture, by the way.
If it was the same winners over and over, it would just be like, all right, there's no guessing, there's no ballots, there's no fun in it. So to have some surprises, as we said, is exciting because, yeah, that means, that's awesome. Someone else got in, but that also means at least one person had to get wiped from that ballot. So it's exciting to see the changes and the viewer's perception. And honestly, even watching the movies and kind of justifying and understanding, okay, I could see why. I get it.
Last week before we get started, we talked about our favorites of the year. Can we just have Kill like drop his like top 5 movies of the year or something?
Absolutely,
Like,
dude.
what are your like?
You're looking at one of them on his shirt right now.
I got that weapon shirt on. That is
Drop
definitely one of my favorites. Of the
give
year.
a top 10 or a top 5 or whatever, just so we know what we're working
off
with.
the cuff. So this is something I definitely wanted to mention. My top 4, because every single year I renew my top 100 list. At the end of the year, I say, okay, what has replaced the previous movies on my all-time top 100 list? And I add them and I have to take off others. So in this case, it was 4 new movies made that list with 4 having to come off. And those 4 movies are Marty Supreme, Superman, Friendship, and Weapons. And I just think that they're all so special to me in all different ways. Personal takes, love horror movies, love comedies. So love to see both of those on there. Love superhero movies and was never a fan of Superman. But, it's just exciting and surprising. So I'm happy to have, these new takes and these new refreshers, over time, I'm sure they'll kind of fizzle off of that list. But right now, I'm riding that hype train. I love these movies. I just love movies in general. So when something makes it, it's exciting. And last year, as Josh said, with the Best Picture nominees, relating that to my list, I thought last year was also a great year for movies, but I only had two new entries from last year, which was The Substance and Late Night with the Devil. So to have four this year is like, oh my gosh, like that's double the amount, and both great years. But I just think there's been so much great variety in the theaters. Um, Seeing so much range and so many different performances and so many different creatives make movies, it's a great year. I mean, I'm not going to deny this is definitely one of my favorite years since probably 2019, and honestly might be better, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, I mean, I look at this as like you have 2019, 2023, and 2025. I look at those as like of the recent years, those three, their like best picture lineups stand out head and shoulders above some of the other years. And you're right, last year had some great films. I thought, I mean, obviously Dune Part 2. I thought The Brutalist was incredible. But really you look at that group, I think we're like, yeah, this is good, and then you compare it to this year and you're like, wow. And I
Yeah.
think you're spot on with it, Kill. Variety. The variety in the films that we got this year is tremendous. And the one thing I want to say interesting about the superhero films, because I know you both agree that this was a great year for superhero films, but I was surprised that superhero films were shut out of the Oscars entirely this year. No visual
Yeah.
effects, no sound, no nothing. So
Mhm.
Superman and Fantastic Four, the two films that I mean, Thunderbolts was probably not going to, but Superman
Yeah.
and Fantastic Four, two
Mhm.
films that you thought would get into at least one technical category. That didn't happen, so that was a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll get to
This
that. That
year
was definitely one of my biggest snubs, but we'll
yeah,
get
this
there.
year
yeah,
had
yeah. I'm
me
jumping the gun.
this year had
It's
me
hard to
add
explain.
a new movie to my letterbox top 4. We talked about Josh and I had a favorite movie.
Wow.
This year we have the same favorite movie, and I think next year we're gonna have the same favorite movie too.
Wow.
So
Okay, I
every
know what
year of
it
the
is.
podcast, yeah, every year of the podcast, we might have the same favorite movie.
Yeah, they're gonna think we're just the same person.
Yeah.
Well, how can there be
Well,
a primary host here and a secondary host
yeah,
if we
don't ask
both like
Ed.
the same movies?
And
Um,
you're not wrong for thinking, Sinners is one of the best movies and honestly deserves the 16 nominations, which we'll get to, but totally justifiable. And honestly, if you said One Battle or if you said Marty Supreme was in your top four, I'd say, okay, yeah, those also
yeah,
deserve to be up there.
Yeah,
yeah,
I would
I
not argue
agree.
that.
So why don't we get into it then, folks? We're gonna get into the top category and we'll work our way down from there, and we'll start with Best Picture. So
Oh,
we'll go over. I'll read off all the nominees, and we'll give our thoughts. We'll give our maybe snubs, some predictions. We'll talk about it. So your nominees for Best Picture at the 98th Academy Awards are Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. So, where do we want to begin?
I think we
my
should go
first
like,
thoughts.
yeah, like, well, what do you think,
No,
Jack?
I was just gonna say my first initial thoughts were that I'm just happy that these are all in here. I'm very happy that F1 and Train Dreams made it in here. That's just immediately what I think of. I was like, oh shit, maybe they won't make it, but then I'm glad they're in here.
The thing about F1 is that I don't think I was necessarily expecting it to be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars, especially when it came out way back last June. But we talk about variety, right? The Oscars always nominate at least one big blockbuster every year. And when Wicked for Good and Avatar Fire and Ash started to fade from, the contention, the race, you were saying, okay, what's going to be the big blockbuster that takes that spot? Are they really going to do 3 international films? Because they have 2 in here. There was talks about It Was Just an Accident, which won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival last year, and Honora, which won that the year
Hmm.
before, swept, right? So
Yeah.
you would think that film has a good chance. No, they go with F1 instead, which I loved. I thought it was a great film.
And when I saw that in theaters, man, I forget what month was that. Was that May? It was
Came out in
sometime in the
June.
June, okay. Yeah, that was about halfway through the year, and that's when I was starting to think, "Okay, this year has good variety, but there's not a lot of, like, cinematic movies." And at the time, Sinners had come out, and I remember I saw F1 as a quadruple feature, my first one in a theater, which was exciting. But F1 was the second movie I considered to be like, okay, this is an Oscar movie. This one will be nominated. And I remember thinking like, wow, nobody's talking about it. It's not getting noms. It's not getting awards. Like, I guess, maybe because I came out in the early part of the year, it just surprised me. It's not my kind of movie, but I was like, no, this is very well made. I could, see it being a contender. And, there it was. And I wasn't surprised. And I think a lot of people are, but I'm happy it's there. I think it's a great movie.
Yeah, me too. What are your guys' kind of first thoughts when you see this list or the nominations? What's like the first thing that you kind of?
Well, I jump right to what Killian was referencing, Sinners. And obviously we're just on the first category, but since it's the Best Picture category, Sinners breaking the all-time nomination record by 2,
Mhm.
and it
Yeah.
also didn't do a double nomination in any category. So
Oh,
Sinners breaking
yeah.
the all-time record of by getting 16 nominations at the Oscars. The record was held by 3 films: All About Eve, Titanic, and La La Land, which had 14 each. Sinners breaks it by 2. Even if you didn't have Best Cast, which is a new category this year, it would have still broken the record. So
Yeah,
that is my initial thought of like, wow, I knew Sinners was going to do well, but they loved it way more than especially for a film that, F1 came out in June. Sinners came out in April,
Well, and
you
what's
know?
interesting as well about the Oscar nominations is Best Casting, sure, is a new category. Of course, Sinners got the 2 extra nominations, so it's like you can't really say like, "Oh, it was just because the new category." But then I also thought about, well, they did just do away with the Best Sound Mixing category, which it probably would have got a nomination for. So other movies had a
yeah.
chance. I think there was a 4-year gap in between since they've ixnayed that category. But,
They kind of combined it. It was sound
they
editing
did,
and sound mixing, and they
and now
just
it's just
combined
sound.
it into sound. Yeah.
Exactly, and so and honestly, they were always the same nominations, not to say it shouldn't be 2 separate categories, but they were always the same nominations, same wins, because it's hard for a person who doesn't sit in those roles to know the difference. But that being said, I believe Sinners was nominated for Best Sound, is that right?
I think it
I
got
think so.
nominated in pretty much every category that it could.
Yeah,
Right. So probably would have got, yeah, which would have
that's
made
so
it
hype.
3 ahead, which is just crazy, but
That's
it is
so hype.
exciting, it's something new and it's deserved, so I'll take it.
I also look at One Battle After Another. And this is an interesting conversation here because One Battle After Another to this point has been the presumed front runner. It took the top prize for the Critics' Choice. It took the top prize at the Golden Globes. And yet here and I mean it got like what, 13 nominations too, something like that. So I mean it did incredibly well. But now you look at Sinners, and Sinners breaking the record suddenly has me wondering, is this where the battle is? No pun intended. One Battle After Another versus Sinners. Is that what we're looking at for Best Picture right now?
Yeah, I thought Sinners was gonna. I knew it was gonna get some love, but I thought it was gonna underperform nominations wise compared to like One Battle or even Marty
Mhm.
Supreme. I thought would get more nominations
I thought
than
so too,
Sinners.
yeah.
But when I heard that, yeah, man, that's hype. That's like I said. I mean, that is in my top 4 favorite movies of all time. Now I've seen. I've only seen it twice, but I would love to see it more times. I mean, I could watch that movie over and over. I love Sinners, so I'm very excited about that.
I
And
think
here's
it's a great
the
category.
Well, here's the hate that I'm seeing with Sinners. I've see all across IGN's posts and everything. Sinners it broke the record. It's the most nominated, and every single comment I'm swiping through says, uh, "Sinners was mid. It's not deserved. It's good, but it's not that good." And I think the difference and the problem that I'm seeing is when we're listening, because all of us watch, the Oscars get announced one by one. Every single movie get into the category, and I didn't realize it got nominated for that many, and that's to show that it deserved to at least be a nomination. It didn't even stick out that it was that far ahead above One Battle or that far ahead or a record breaker. So I think, you say that and that's awesome. That's a great achievement and honestly very well deserved, but it makes sense. Everything is so precise and so dialed in that movie. And for it to be one of the 5, might not win, will not win everything. That's almost impossible, but to be considered one of the best makes sense. So I'm not opposed to that. Yeah, it's great. I love it.
You're right. I
I
mean, this is such a good race that I don't. I mean, do I think Sinners is gonna come out with the most wins of the night? I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if I think that it will. I have no idea. That's how good and close this race is, that it has the
Yeah.
most nominations, but will it have the most wins? It's genuinely anyone's game right now.
Before Oscar nomination morning, I thought Hamnet was the runner up after One Battle because it won Best Drama at the Golden Globes. It has a
Mm.
lot of momentum. It's a really emotional film, very much fitting for the Academy and their voters. I mean, it's incredible nonetheless. It was one of my favorites of the year. So I'm not just saying it's like an Oscar, it's not an Oscar bait film by any means, but it is the kind of film that voters would really resonate with. It's obviously came out in the holiday season compared to last April. So I thought Hamnet was the presumed runner up after One Battle, but then you see Sinners. Now I'm thinking it's going to be between those two. My interesting thing, and this will eventually lead us to director, but I'm not rushing there. I don't think Sinners is going to win Best Director. I think Best Director is pretty confidently going to be PTA. Well, I'll say the nominations real quick since I'm looping it in. Chloe Zhao, Hamnet, Josh Safdie, Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another, Joachim Trier, Sentimental Value, and Ryan Coogler, Sinners. I'm not sure off the top of my head the last time the Academy went with a director and picture that weren't the same film. I could potentially see that happening this year. I don't think Coogler's going to win director. I really think they're going to give PTA his flowers. He's been around a lot longer. He's made so many great films. This is a great film. I think it's his time for that award. But does that mean One Battle's going to win Best Picture, or can Sinners come in and take Best Picture? I don't know the last time that's happened, but I could see that.
Is this the
Yeah.
time we're making our predictions?
Yeah. I think we should do it. I mean, it's
Well,
gonna take forever to go individually, but yeah, anything you wanna say about the other nominees before
Well,
we
but for Best Picture, one thing I only looped in director to make that point. But
Yeah.
before we do predictions, what is each of your biggest snub in that category? Kill, I think I know yours. But what is one film that you think should have made Best Picture?
Yeah, of course, I'm gonna say Weapons, and to see it get snubbed, I'm okay with because I was hoping it would get at least one nomination, which it did. I was hoping for writing at least as well, but I'll take what I can get. I'm okay with it just getting the supporting actress. Um, if the Oscars were up to me, it would definitely be Weapons up there. But I haven't seen all the movies, but I know I like Weapons more than some of them. But it's also a personal, like I mean,
Sure.
I think it's very well made. I think the direction is incredible. I think the editing, I think the writing, I think the performances, everything is great. But to me, I've been watching the Oscars for probably 15 years now, maybe a little more. And I know what an Oscar movie is. And unfortunately, that is not the kind of movie they're going to nominate. Um,
Well, hey, Sinners just broke the record. It's a horror vampire film, and it just broke the all-time record. So I
a-
wouldn't discount Weapons
and you're
deserving
right.
that.
It just feels like Weapons isn't at the technical level that Sinners is at, which definitely because Weapons is a fun movie. In my opinion, it's creepy, it's fun, it's disjointed, but it all works. And Sinners wouldn't work without Ryan Coogler, dare I say, as a director. I just think that that is a well-rounded movie and feels like the word cinema, and Weapons feels a little bit more like a experimental, but not quite. I don't even know how to put that in a bucket, but it's not cinematic as much as I love it, you know?
No, I totally get what you're saying. What about you, Jack? What is one film that you think was snubbed like, I mean, Fantastic Four was not going to make it. I mean, like realistically snubbed, I should say.
Realistically,
Like Weapons
probably
was realistically snubbed.
probably War of the Worlds with Ice Cube.
You're kind of
Uh,
right, man. You're kind of right.
Had the
I
visual
think
effects.
yeah, yeah, that should have been at least one category. No, honestly, kind of like Fantastic Four. I don't think this would get nominated, but it deserved to be, especially kind of the cultural phenomenon it became. I think Superman, man, I think Superman. I mean, everything, at least online, what I was seeing after Superman came out was like this movie was life changing, and I loved it. I loved it. I think I didn't even like it as much as you, Kill. Like I loved it, and you even liked it more than me. Um, but I saw like people were adopting more dogs from like kill shelters and stuff after because of crypto, and people were just everyone posting online like this movie made me want to be a better person, and like this movie's just
Mhm.
inspiring, and it's the start of this. Of course, it's the start of this universe, but at the end of the day, it's just a really good, powerful, important cultural movie. So I don't know. I think it deserved some sort of recognition. Maybe not in Best Picture, but if I'm throwing it in anywhere, fuck it, let's go Best Picture.
Yeah.
I'm down
I
for
think
it.
it was, yeah. I think that was a little bit of a snub, but you know, it is what it is.
I
Never
I
expected it to be in.
I would say and you're right. Superman was such a cultural phenomenon for such an important time where it was kind of this spark of hope, right? Like
Yeah,
people really felt good again for a bit. Um, my snub is probably and this is I don't know about Best Picture, but again, it is general categories is Wake Up Dead Man. I am shocked that everyone all awards season has just forgotten about this movie. I thought it was the best written of the three. I'm not saying there weren't things that I couldn't have liked more, some of the utilization of the supporting cast, but especially from a performance standpoint, Josh O'Connor completely forgotten. Glenn Close is just being completely forgotten.
uh-huh.
I'm finding that surprising. It had some pretty great cinematography. I thought, like I thought that this film would at least show up somewhere, a screenplay, somewhere.
Best cast.
Cast, right? Like it just
Yeah.
I'm shocked that it's completely shut out all season.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's go take our picks then. Let's go down the line and see who we think is winning Best Picture.
And by the way, me and Josh do this Oscar bet every single year. So everything Josh says, I'm going to use against him and probably trust
I've given up all my state secrets anyway
I
on
know,
here, so
I
it
know.
doesn't
He
even
won.
matter.
He won our last bet. So
I won. I took
Oh,
all of
yeah.
Jack's friends' money last year. Now all they have to do is listen to this to get the cheat code.
Yeah. All right, Kill. Do you want to start since you're our guest?
Yeah. So we running down the categories or are we running Best Picture? What do we
No,
start?
your prediction for Best Picture.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Best Picture prediction. I'm going to say one battle after another, but what Josh said with the amount of nominations, Sinners does have a fighting chance. We still have a little over a month and a half until the award ceremony. So bound to change, but I'm going to go all in and say that. I would love if Marty Supreme won. I was a little surprised that people aren't standing up for it the way that I thought. I was surprised that that was probably my favorite movie of the year. I love Friendship. That's a guilty pleasure, but that's more of the fun movie, the personal pick. Marty Supreme is like the artful cinematic experience that I think it just deserves to like be. But that being said, I think looking back, if it was a Marty Supreme win, I think people would say that was a undeserving win. Which there's so many great movies. Everyone could say what they want. I think One Battle will win just because it has so much going for it.
Yeah,
That's good. Yeah.
I'll agree. With Marty Supreme, if you put Marty Supreme in last year's lineup, it probably wins.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say One Battle After Another as well. It's just been the top dog to this point, winning the top prizes. PTA has been the director to beat. It feels a little like it feels hard to slow down the momentum that it has right now. You're right. Still plenty of time. We have the BAFTAs. We have, the acting awards, the SAG, whatever. So there are other things, precursors still, that can dictate kind of, our voters changing their minds. But right now, I would say One Battle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Sinners, but I'm with you guys. I think One Battle is taking it. I would
Are
love
we
a
all
Sinners
in
win,
agreement on
but I
director
think
too?
I'm going One Battle for Best Picture. I'm also going PTA for Best Director.
It's a close one. I might go Ryan Coogler for director, but again, have
What
a
an
month and a half to
inspired
decide that.
win. What an inspired win it would be if Coogler won director.
That's what I mean. Is I see it. That's when I was talking to you, Josh, and we'll get there. But deep teasing it, Paul Mescal not getting a nomination, and before I did text you, I said I wouldn't be surprised if Delroy Lindo got a nomination in place of him. I just see it. I see it, and that's sometimes what I have to go with, that gut and just imagining the televised event and seeing Ryan Coogler on stage makes sense to me. I don't know what for, but I see him on stage. So again, you have to go with your gut sometimes. Sometimes it's a last minute change. I might read the awards and say, oh my gosh, wait a second. That person won here. So this means that this person has to, like, it's all a scramble.
We have to change that this year. We got to put the lock in when the show starts.
I always mess up.
No changing your nominations.
Look, buddy,
no changing your predictions.
We got a month and a half. We're always changing something now.
We'll be 2 months away. We'll be 2 minutes away. we'll be 2 minutes away from them announcing Best Picture, and Kill Bill. Let me change my prediction real
Whoa,
quick.
you can't do
No,
that.
you can't do
Absolutely.
that.
Yep, the rule is right before, as long as it's before and you text it or you say it out loud,
I think,
whatever.
but I think we got to change that this
We'll
year.
see. All right,
I'm gonna
whatever.
bring that up to
Moving
the
on.
Crazy.
Get off me.
I am going to just shout out Chloe Zhao, by the way. I don't think she's winning by any means. She also already won for Nomadland a few years ago. But I want to shout her out because she is only the second woman to ever be nominated for Best Director twice.
That's crazy. And very
Kill,
well
do you think
deserved.
Kill, you can name the first?
Oh man, I'm blanking on the name. It's the Hurt Locker director?
No, that's a good
Really?
guess. That's Catherine Bigelow. It's not her.
Yeah. Oh man, and isn't that sad that I can't name that? That's the depressing part of this.
It's the Academy's fault. It's Jane Campion has been nominated twice.
Oh,
Power of the
okay.
Dog and
Yep.
what was The Piano Teacher?
Yeah, that was early 2000s, I think.
Yeah. So Chloe Zhao is only the second woman to ever be nominated in that category twice. So I just wanted to shout that out because I think that's an inspired fun fact for that.
Yeah,
But you're right.
and
PTA
Hamnet
probably
is not my, at least what I thought wasn't my kind of movie. The time period is just not, I guess, entertaining for me. But the directing and the writing and the performance, everything in that movie just works so well. So I would hate to see it go home with nothing.
It's interesting from your perspective, Kill, because you're not a fan of Nomadland, but this is a completely other kind of work from her.
Oh yeah, and I loved Eternals, so I'm on board for her as a director. Just after Nomadland, I was a little like exhausted, I guess. I just did not enjoy it. I feel like I need a rewatch, but I can at least enjoy the other movies.
Okay. Why don't we move on to Best Actor in a Leading Role? We'll go over the nominees and keep talking. So the nominees are Timothée Chalamet, Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke, Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan, Sinners, and Wagner Moura, The Secret Agent. We talked a little bit about Marty Supreme before. If Marty Supreme is going to get love at the Oscars this year,
it's gonna be here.
This is where it's gonna happen, right?
Yep, that's my prediction. Timothy's gonna win.
Because like, I it's his time. I was looking at this. It's interesting. Timothée Chalamet is the youngest actor to have 3 Best Actor nominations since Marlon Brando in 1954.
Wow.
So, I feel like there's so much momentum. Chalamet is the Marty Supreme film. And, Chalamet. And that's not saying that Safdie isn't doing great work and everyone else, like, of course. But Timothée Chalamet is like the heart of that film, is the powerhouse, of that film. The performance is probably the best of his career to this point, I would say.
Agreed.
There are other really interesting options. I know earlier in the season people thought DiCaprio could maybe take it, but right now, I think Chalamet. I think the biggest spoiler in this category is not DiCaprio. It's actually Wagner Moura.
There's a chance. I think, like what I said before, I was like, there can be little, sleepers that get in there, and I think he would be the one to just overtake Best Actor, if anyone.
I can see it too, and I haven't seen the movie, but the fact that he's in there, you know what I mean, means that there's
he's getting a lot of love.
He's gotten a lot of love. I think the biggest thing that helped is the Oscar voting started the day after the Golden Globes, and The Secret Agent did very well there. Wagner Moura won there. And I think that attention to the film, I haven't seen it either, but I think that attention to the film and to him did wonders in terms of like voters and what they're thinking going into it. I hear he's really great in it. I don't think he's going to win, but if anyone here has a chance to overtake, I mean, obviously I'd love to see Michael B. Jordan. I don't think that's going to happen. I think if anyone wins besides Chalamet, it's Wagner Moura.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's going to be Chalamet, but I think there is a slight chance that we just get all completely shocked, and it is Wagner Moura.
I have a fun little mini game here with Chalamet, real quick. This is Chalamet's 8th Best Picture nomination of his career already. He's only like 30 years old. This is his 8th Best Picture nomination.
Wow,
I'm curious if you guys can come up with the 8 films.
Oh my God, I didn't even know he was in more than 8 movies. Well, we know Call Me by Your Name is there.
Yep.
Lady
Oh
Bird
yeah.
he's in Lady Bird. Yeah.
Lady Bird.
Interstellar was the Best Picture nom. That is just insane. I knew that, and
I
I'm
know.
still mad.
Did
It
Wow.
pisses
Dune
me off to this day.
did Dune Part 2 get
Yep,
nominated?
yeah, both.
Dune Part 2,
And
Dune Part
Dune.
1.
Oh, Dune Part 1 too.
Um,
Okay.
You're already halfway.
freaking Don't Look Up,
Don't
which
Look
I
Up.
love.
Yep.
I love that it's a
The
nom.
the Bob Dylan one.
Oh,
A
Complete
Complete
Unknown. And
Unknown.
Yeah,
then
yeah.
this movie, Marty Supreme.
Marty
Oh
Supreme.
shit, Jack, come on, we got this. Oh man, what's he
You have
in?
one more.
Oh no, we can't fail.
Oh man, I'm blanking.
I'm blanking too. Wait, he's got to be like a supporting. There's no way he's the lead.
If
And we
you got
probably
Don't Look Up, you should be able to get this.
Wait, Beautiful Boy?
No,
no,
that's a
that
good
was
pull though.
nominated.
No?
That is a good pull. Or
Wait, yeah, I can't believe you pulled Don't Look Up. I would not have remembered that.
I
Honestly, I
love
wouldn't
it.
have remembered
He's great
Call Me
in
by Your
that.
Name either.
He's so funny in that movie.
What? Yeah, he's got to be like the most minor role or some shit.
I know he's like a voice or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
I
was in
was,
Zootopia.
it's just archival
he
footage.
was
He's
not in
uncredited.
Zootopia. Um,
Oh man, I feel like eventually we're gonna need a hint.
yeah, just give it. Do you have a hint for us, John? Can you give us a year? That would help a lot.
2019.
I knew it was. It's not The King or whatever that's called on Netflix. Okay, that was the good year. That was like Little Woman. That's what it is.
Little Woman. Yep. Little
Oh
Woman.
yeah. Good
So,
job.
What an
Yeah.
impressive run for him. Well, first of all, impressive for you guys.
Yes, good job,
Props.
Jack.
Thanks.
I can't believe you got Don't Look Up. But yeah, what an impressive run for Chalamet. I mean, oh my God, he's got to be the youngest person to accomplish that, right? Like, I don't know that for a fact, but
And he should have gotten Interstellar too. So like,
yeah, he
it should
should
have
have
been
had
9.
Interstellar.
That's insane. I
can't
didn't
believe
know
that
that was
wasn't
nominated.
So Chalamet, that's another even more of a reason to think he's going to take the actor award this year because it's finally his time. Like he is the big star of this generation. This is probably his best performance. All those are really great movies to varying degrees. Like this is the year, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm totally with
and
you
I
on
think
that.
the fact that Leo already has an Oscar, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but
No, I definitely. I mean,
whole
for me,
campaign.
it wouldn't, but for voters, I'm sure it does.
I know, and that
exactly.
we're gonna talk. That gets more prevalent, at least in like the best supporting actor category. But that I fucking hate that. That pisses me off so much.
Why don't we move to Best Actress in a Leading Role? Our nominees are Jessie Buckley, Hamnet; Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You; Kate Hudson, Song Sung Blue; Renata Reinsva, Sentimental Value; and Emma Stone, Bugonia.
Jessie
This
Buckley.
category is pretty locked up. This is probably the most locked up category.
I know.
Jessie Buckley is going to win.
Can't not win.
Josh said that the day he saw Hamnet.
The day I saw
it's over.
Hamnet, I walked out of the theater and I said Jessie Buckley is winning Best Actress. The race is over. And Kate Hudson, that was a surprise. I didn't see Song Sung Blue.
I just watched it last night. I'm trying to check them off with Sid. We're watching through the movies, and
how was it?
Let's put on Song Sung Blue. Honestly, it's there's so many movies like it. And I don't want to spoil it, but it just starts off high and it kind of goes this more character work. Which does I think it's understandable why it got a nomination. She's not going to win, but I could see the vision there of why voters pick that over. I think Cynthia totally should have been nominated. And I haven't seen all.
Wicked for Good didn't get nominated at all.
That is my biggest snub. I just can't believe it got nothing. But I see it. I thought that she played a pretty good role in there. I would say like, oh, it's because she sings. Like she is a great singer. But I just think Cynthia is so. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is, but it was enjoyable.
I'm surprised that they didn't put Chase Infinity in. I mean, she has been along for the ride at other award shows. It's obviously one of the biggest films of the year. And before you say she's young, she's 25. Mikey Madison just won Best Actress at the same age last year. So, and she's a relative newcomer as well. So, definitely was a little surprised that they excluded Chase Infinity. I mean, they went with the veteran and Kate Hudson. But the stronger film is certainly one battle.
I look at it this way: is one battle after another is such a loose and raw movie, which makes for good characters. and good performances, but not necessarily intentional or dialed in performances. I mean, you could believe the characters are the characters and the characters would do what they would do, but it's more like we're holding on wide shots. We're kind of letting, the dialogue maybe be improv. I don't know the shooting style, which was a very well directed movie, but watching something like Song Sung Blue that just feels a lot more intentional. Like the lines read are exactly how they're written on the script and exactly how the director wanted it. Wow, one battle after another is this very like, and that's the style of the movie, but it doesn't feel as direct. I don't know how to describe it, but it just feels like you're just watching, like you're peering through a window, as opposed to this like theatrical performance. So that's why I think she was snubbed, in my opinion. Chase Infinity.
Uh, yeah, I'm with that. I mean, yeah, if there's the more freedom there is with it, I think the actors they can kind of just I don't want to say like kind of show their true ability. I don't know. It's hard to frame it like that, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and
Um,
I think that they did a great job in one battle, but I just see voters being like, "Oh, we don't know this actress and she hasn't been in anything, so like we're going to give it to the veteran."
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Chase Infinity did deserve to be in there, but I mean, I it's kind of funny. Like best actor, I've seen most of those movies. Best actress, I've only seen Begonia. Like I don't know what it is. I mean, there's yeah, I haven't seen Hamnet. If I had legs, I kick you. Song Sung Blue, Sentimental Value. Like I don't know, so I can't really talk much about this category besides you guys. How much you say Jesse Buckley's amazing. I don't doubt it. But yeah, all I
Still
know is
agree.
Begonia.
It's
Mhm.
over. Yeah, she's winning it. It's funny though you mentioned Begonia with Emma Stone. Um, which by the way, not that there was much. I'll get back to that. All right, with Begonia, I think Jesse Plemons gives a better performance than Emma Stone, and obviously he didn't get nominated, and she did. Not that she's not incredible in it. Um, I also think Lee Byung-hun for No Other Choice should have been nominated in Best Actress, so that was just a really tough category. But Emma Stone's still very deserving. She is, by the way, you guys, the youngest woman in history to have 7 Oscar nominations, and and even more shocking to me, the second youngest person ever,
Oh,
after Walt Disney
to ha-
accomplished it at the age of
oh,
34,
wow.
way back in 1936. So like I'm shocked. I mean, she's obviously such a powerhouse and an incredible actress and producer. But she racks up those nominations. Her and Yorgos, they're just,
Yeah,
pumping them out.
it's crazy. The Academy is so unpredictable. I feel like they'll be like, oh, Chase Infinity doesn't get, we don't really know her, so we won't nominate her. Oh, this person has a lot of Oscars, so he already gets enough recognition. We'll give it to somebody new. And then you have Emma Stone, who no matter what will get nominations, who no matter what will probably win something. She'll probably win something next year or a year, 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Like she wins constantly. She gets nominated constantly. Not like she doesn't deserve it, but I feel like she's the one actress that they're like, get her in there no matter what. Have her win no matter what. Like she's just that good
I mean,
that she
her
kind of
commitment to that role,
yeah.
I mean, she shaves her head. She's really like giving. I think it's a very outward performance. I don't know. I mean, it's not. I think she deserves it to be in there. But you're right. It is interesting where it's like Chase Infinity is 25, can't get the nomination because she's too young or whatever. But
Well,
Emma
to look at
Stone
screen
is
time, we can't overlook that.
yeah, sure. But I mean, they don't nominate based on screen time. They nominate based on campaign categories. So like, we were talking about that kill. Like Anthony Hopkins won Best Actor for Silence of the Lambs with 16 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
So
Lead actor, yeah.
um, lead actor, yeah. So I'm not saying I necessarily disagree, but that's not how they view it.
Yeah, for
Uh-huh.
sure.
So anyway, thought that was interesting. Best Actor in a Supporting Role, shall we? Um, Benicio del Toro in One Battle After Another, Jacob Elordi, Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo, Sinners, Sean Penn, One Battle After Another, and Stellan Skarsgård, Sentimental Value. So we all are like, yeah, Jesse Buckley's winning. I'm not sure who's winning this category.
This is the toughest category in my opinion.
For acting, at least, yeah, I would
Yeah.
say so.
Yeah, this one's a hard one. I
Um,
really, I just, I can't imagine Sean Penn not winning because his performance is that good. But I guess there's politics that go into all of it. So,
I'm with
I
you.
It's
Uh,
crazy. And this is what you were talking about, Jack, where it's like Sean Penn. I think Benicio del Toro is really great in that movie. I think he's very memorable in that movie. But I don't know how you can look at him and Sean Penn in the same film and say that Penn is giving a worse performance or that Del Toro is giving a better performance. Sean Penn as Colonel Stephen Lockjaw is probably the best performance in that movie.
Yeah.
yeah, I totally
You
agree.
know,
I think, yeah, Sean Penn is my pick, but I would not be surprised if they give it to Stellan for his just his career, for like a career win, or
Mhm.
if we get a sneak attack from Jacob Elordi. I would not be
that's
surprised at all.
that's where I'm at right now. Personally, I think you can ironically convince me anyone but Sean Penn is going to win this category, which is even though Sean Penn would be my personal pick.
Crazy.
I think you
It
could
is.
convince me an argument that any of these other will win. Del Toro was taking a bunch of critics prizes. There's a lot of love for him. Lordy, I mean, obviously took Critics' Choice, big shocking, performance. There's momentum. Delroy Lindo as the narrative. It's finally after years of snubs, his first career nomination. Will Sinners get an acting win somewhere? And then Stellan Skarsgård, again, he has been kind of the presumed front runner for a bit, but that doesn't mean much right now. Did win the Golden Globe. But Penn has already won 2 Oscars, both for Best Lead Actor. So they're probably not going to give it to him, which is a shame. But I think everyone else here, I don't know who I'm going to predict right now. I'll let you guys predict first because I want to hear. I don't know.
Well,
Um,
Sean Penn should win, and I still think he will win because I can't imagine without him. And honestly, I want to hear your opinion. Was he the best performance of the whole year for any movie you've seen this year? Because honestly, he might be mine.
That's a great question.
Mine is still Jesse Buckley, but
Okay, that's fair.
A huge snub for this category is what's his name, Miles Catton, whatever.
Oh,
Miles
yeah,
Caton.
yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
Um,
mean that's
Great.
a Chase Infinity snub. It's the same thing. It's like young actor. I mean, he was just so. I mean, that performance was just so moving.
I mean,
Yeah,
he
the
learned how to
singing.
play his ability to learn to play guitar. He had never played before, but if it was going to be just one of those two, I'm glad it was Delroy Lindo because obviously, again, he's been around a long time. He has my favorite. Well, obviously the transcendent scene, when they're performing in the juke joint is like one of the greatest scenes I've seen, but also him in the car um with Stack and Sammy, and he's telling the story about his bandmate who ended up getting hanged, and like that was such an impactful scene, and his performance was so soulful that, like, between the two, I'm glad it's him. I think he
Well,
really
that's the
deserves it. Not
clip
that Caton
they're
doesn't.
playing at the Oscars.
Yeah.
They're playing that
Well,
clip.
if they
Yes.
even play clips still,
Oh
but
my god, I hope they
Um,
do.
I'm
or are
with
they gonna
Kill
have the
though.
5 people come out and talk again?
I'm with Kill. I'm still. I'm hoping it's Sean Penn, and I think it's gonna be Sean Penn. It's just that'd be such a huge mistake not to have
Just
him
makes
win this.
sense.
It
I
would
think
not make sense.
I think I'm just based on I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to predict Stellan Skarsgård right now. That can change. That can
I could
definitely
see that
change.
happening though. I could definitely see that happening.
But I
Mhm.
think right now I feel like the one battle is going to split the vote. Like, I think the voters are going to be split anyway between Del Toro and Penn.
Uh-huh.
I think it's going to come down to Skarsgård. Honestly, I think it is going to come down to Skarsgård or Lindo, and I think Skarsgård's going to win it. But I mean, Sean Penn deserves, So, best actress in a supporting role. This had a surprise for sure. Elle Fanning in Sentimental Value. Inga Ibsdottir Liljash in Sentimental Value. Amy Madigan in Weapons.
Woo, yeah.
Wunmi Musaku in Sinners, and Tayana Taylor in One Battle After Another. This is probably a two-headed race.
You must have been hyped, Kill, to see that.
Oh
Amy
yeah, I would
Madigan.
have taken anything weapons and look, like I did love her performance in Weapons, but I'm just so used to the Oscars not giving it to the fun, extravagant, over exaggerated performers in a movie that's not an Oscar bait movie. So I was like not even considering or thinking it. And there she was. And you know what? Jamie Lee Curtis won for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was an Oscar movie, which is like a debatable, controversial pick. and I
Stephanie
agree with that.
Shu was better in that same movie in the
Can't
same
believe it.
category.
Well, again, it's the young actors versus the veterans, so
Yeah,
it's
she had
that's a
hot dog
debate today.
fingers, bro. Come on.
Yeah, she did. I know,
Those
and
hot
she had
dog
the
fingers.
club as well. So, anyways, I was very excited that she was nominated, just because she's great. But Weapons, just being an Oscar-nominated movie, just it makes me so giddy. So I don't know if she'll win. I would give it to Teyana Taylor if she was in it more, but I think her screen time definitely goes against her win. So I don't know. I haven't seen Sentimental Value, which is two of the nominations. So come back to me. Maybe I'll let you know before the
I was
official.
surprised about Elle Fanning. I thought it would be either Ariana Grande or Odessa Zion, actually. I thought they
Mhm.
were going to give Marty Supreme one other acting nomination. I know you have Gwyneth Paltrow, but Odessa Zion, I think, is much better in that
I
film
agree, yeah.
than Paltrow. Elle Fanning is great in Sentimental Value. I don't know if I think it's an Oscar-worthy performance, especially like Inga Ibsdottir Liliosh is great. She deserves the nom. Wunmi Mosaku, what an inspired nomination, but it will come down to Madigan or Taylor. They're the ones who have been winning so far. I don't know which one's going to take it. Right now, my money would be Teyana Taylor because I can't imagine one battle after another not winning at least one of the major acting categories.
Mhm.
And I think this is where they're going to do it, is Teyana Taylor. And you're right, screen time, but it is at least it's not like she's a lead actor, lead
Yeah, yeah,
screen
yeah.
time in
It
that,
is
it
this
is a
genuine
genuine supporting
Yeah,
performance.
absolutely.
And we've talked about it a bit too, where her presence like continues to cloud the narrative throughout the rest of the film. So, I mean, it's a really strong performance. They may give it to Amy Madigan. They may give it to Amy Madigan too, though. Like it is certainly in the realm of possibility right now.
I'm also giving it to Teyana Taylor, but I think there's a chance that Wunmi Musaku takes it. I think that could also be the underdog winning the Oscar. Because same thing as One Battle. I mean, I think this would be where Sinners would take the acting category. So I don't know. I think
That's
she
a
has a
very good
chance, but
argument.
I would give it to Teyana Taylor though.
That's a very good point. You got to think all these nominations, Sinners is going to take one of the acting categories. Neither film is in Best Actress, and neither film is winning Best Actor. So, you have to look at the supporting categories and say, are they going to give it to these two movies in these categories? Like, will it be Delroy Lindo and Teyana Taylor, or will it be, Wunmi Musaku and Benicio del Toro, right? Like, I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
spitballing. So, I would agree with you guys. I would be inclined to think that these are the categories they're going to want to recognize those, films. But then you have Stellan Skarsgård and Amy Madigan,
Fucking
so
Stellan, dude.
or Jacob Elordi and Amy Madigan, two horror performances. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
That'd
that
be
would
pretty
be
cool.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be really cool.
Why don't we move on to Best Writing? We'll start with Original Screenplay. So the nominees for Original Screenplay: Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. I think Sinners is taking it. I think, I know you guys in directing were saying, oh, Coogler, you think he's going to get a big win somewhere? I think this is where he gets his win. He wrote the screenplay. I think they're going to give it to him here. It's such a beautiful story. The ending really ties so much of it together. There's so much nuance to it regarding Black history with Irish history and different struggles there, and there's just so much thought put into it. I think this is where they give Coogler his love.
I agree. I think Coogler's getting this one.
It makes sense to me. I have it at the top as well.
Maybe Marty Supreme. Maybe Marty Supreme can take it. But I just think that Sinners is like, this is like the moment that they can give Coogler on stage.
I also think Blue Moon is like this just mystical figure in the Oscars right now. Like, what is this movie? I mean, like, Blue Moon is in everything, and it's always lingering in each category. What is this?
Kyler found a way to watch it, Kill. Like, so it's
Yeah.
got to be out there somewhere.
It exists for sure.
Oh,
It
so
exists
okay, good. It's a real
somewhere.
thing.
Well, and this is something me and Josh have talked about, where it's like they always slip in these like made up movies at the Oscars last second where you're like, whoa, like what? I've never heard of that before, and Blue Man is definitely one of
Yeah.
them.
I've just seen pictures of bald Ethan Hawke, and I was like, "Okay, this is a thing."
It's a
AI
Richard
movie.
Linklater film. I don't really even know what it's about though. But it is a Richard Linklater film. Um, the other one in here too is It Was Just an Accident, which I mentioned earlier was the Palme d'Or winner, Jafar Panahi. If you guys don't know his story, he's an Iranian filmmaker who is basically held hostage in his own country based on their rules and some of these felonious charges that they have brought up upon him and their regime. I thought he could sneak into director just because the Directors Guild is what votes on that, and there's a lot of support behind Panahi's narrative. That didn't happen. He's not going to win this either because the film completely tanked on somehow. I haven't seen it, but I mean, if it won the Palme d'Or, I imagine it's at least pretty good. So Panahi's here. I just wanted to shout out that narrative because I don't think a lot of people know that. But this is probably as far as it goes. I think Sinners wins it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not opposed to that win. I just want Marty to win as much as it can, but at the same time, I want to see Sinners with some awards too.
Adapted screenplay. The nominees are Bugonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Train Dreams. I think this is a little more interesting
This is tough.
because One Battle After Another has won some adapted prizes, screenplay prizes, but I can also see the Academy. I mean, they don't have to give screenplay to One Battle. If they give picture and director to it, they don't have to give screenplay, right? Could Hamnet take it? Maybe. I don't know. Train Dreams is a beautifully written film. Like I don't know what else would win. They're all Best Picture nominees. What do you guys think?
I would love for Train Dreams to win, but I think if I'm putting money on it, I'm going Hamnet.
And you haven't even seen it.
I haven't seen just word of mouth, dude. Just word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
What do you think, Kill?
Well, we're talking about, every movie deserves to win at least one, and this is when this person wins. But we're also forgetting about um, the Daniels from Everything Everywhere All at Once swept, and Sean Baker swept for Honora and just won all these awards at once. And I mean, stole is not the right word, rightfully won the awards, but there were a lot of snubs from last
No,
year,
he
Conclave being
stole
one of the
one
main.
of those awards.
Okay, all right. Hey, we're not gonna. I'm an editor.
I
I love the
cannot
movie.
believe they gave Honora best fucking editing last year. That
And
was
I support
egregious.
it because I just love a man who could do it all and make a movie and edit and write it before he shoots
He's
it
so
and also
talented.
produce it. Like I just love that he does everything. That just
They
to me is fun. I love
but it
that.
wasn't the best editing. It was good editing, but it was like
Hey,
so it was typical.
we're
It
talking
wasn't
about
it
this
didn't
year,
stand
buddy.
out.
You're a year behind.
Whatever. You're right. We have seen people sweep. PTA
It's
could very
possible.
well
Right.
Very
do
possible.
this.
I think Hamnet is a very well written movie. But I think One Battle will win.
I agree. I think my prediction at the moment is One Battle. I think Hamnet would probably be the runner-up, though, right? Like Begonia, Frankenstein. I don't think they're gonna do that. I think Hamnet would probably be the runner-up.
Mm-hmm.
Best animated film. We have Arco, Elio, K-pop
Nope.
Demon Hunters, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. I think this one's pretty easy. I think we all know what's winning. It's K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm fine with that. The only
You'll
other
like
one here
it.
that could win is Zootopia 2, right? Like
Zootopia 2 was one. I think it was my sixth favorite movie of the year. I love all movies, but I love animated movies with a purpose and a story. I think it's an amazing movie. I think it's better than the first, to be honest. But I don't think it'll win just because it's a sequel. And I'm okay with K-pop winning because it is a great original movie. So I'll take it.
But don't forget, last year Flow beat The Wild Robot. So you had these international films.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the
That's
hell
true.
Arco
I don't know what these are.
or
Yeah.
Little Amelie. Like, there's a chance that they get in there. I don't even know what they
It's
are,
true.
and I didn't know what Flow was until I had to watch it afterwards.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm the only one here who hasn't seen K-pop Demon Hunters yet. It just feels like it's such a global phenomenon.
I think it'll win, but you never know.
I think it's pretty safe. the only film here that you're talking about international is that Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba film. Like maybe that could have gotten in, but no, I mean it's gonna be K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, probably. I'm with you on that.
Best international film, we have It Was Just an Accident from France, The Secret Agent, Brazil, Sentimental Value, Norway, Surat, Spain, and The Voice of Hin Rajab, Tunisia. Um, this is a fun category because you have, I mean, I would have said three, but at this point, you really have two films
Yeah.
that can win this: Secret Agent and Sentimental Value, because they're Best Picture nominees.
Mm-hmm. And has an international movie ever won not getting a Best Picture nominee? Like this
That's a good
category?
question.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
Well, there's been years where they haven't, but same with animated, if it manages to get that Best Picture, it's going to win that category.
Yeah,
So I
absolutely.
think I'm going by nominations. I haven't seen either, but I'm going to say Sentimental Value is going to win.
Interesting. I'm going Secret Agent. I haven't seen any of these either, but I'm going Secret Agent.
I've only seen Sentimental Value, but I'm still going to go with The Secret Agent just because there seems to be some more momentum. But again, they only voted on the nominations. They re-vote for the winners. So, Sentimental Value, like Kill said, got so many nominations. Maybe voters go recheck it out and they love it and they nominate it.
Right.
It also has the most like Hollywood cast, so to speak, like actors who also do Hollywood films, Skarsgård and Elle Fanning. So I can see it winning. I think right now The Secret Agent has a little more momentum, so I'm probably going to throw my support behind that. I can't believe no other choice. Why does the Academy hate Park Chan-wook so much? Like, that film was awesome. It should have at least made an international feature, and it didn't even make it here. That's incredible to me. So whatever, but The Secret Agent will probably take it. Well, I don't know about probably, but that's my prediction
between
right
the
now.
two, like you said.
Yeah. Moving on to Best Documentary Feature Film, we have The Alabama Solution, Come See Me in the Good Light, Cutting Through Rocks, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, and The Perfect Neighbor. I've only heard of one of these and I haven't seen it.
Yeah, Perfect
I know
Neighbor.
you guys, I think you both saw The Perfect Neighbor.
I say the word raw a lot, but that is a very raw movie. It's all in the style of um, police cam footage, like body cam, and it is just so real and scary. And I live in Florida, and it's unfortunate that stuff like that does happen in Florida, and all around the U.S. as well. But it is such a great way to showcase events of a tragedy by luring you into the progression of this story just by this footage and maybe some text on screen. As an editor, I look at this and I say, like, at first I was a little like, what is this? I mean, I don't, it looks a little like, oh, they didn't put work into this. But then once you're like into it, you're like, oh my God, like this is so intentional. This is amazing. And I didn't think it was gonna get a nom. This was gonna be one of mine that, like, I hope it does, but I didn't even think it would be considered. But now that it's in there, haven't seen the others, don't know what the others are. I think it might win.
I 100% agree. I mean, that's the only one I saw also. I don't even know what the
Mhm.
others are, but
What'd you
yeah,
think of
I
it?
mean, it was so incredibly well made. I think you're right. Like it does look like this low effort, just, cut and paste all these clips together, put them on
Yeah.
screen, but then you realize like that's what it needs to be because it needs to be this, like you said, this raw uh viewing of these terrible events, and you need to see it exactly how it played out,
hmm
exactly the way it was meant to be seen. So it is kind of just like copy and paste, these clips together, but that's exactly how it needs to be. And I was very glad that it got made. Like I'm just while I was
Yeah.
watching, it was like I'm glad this exists because it is a really fucked up story, and thing that happened. So I'm glad it exists, and I really I found it very impactful and very important. So I loved it.
hmm
I would probably pick it as the winner right now, just because there seems to be a lot of popularity behind this one. And I don't know the others. I do need to watch it. I've heard very good things from both of you and other people about it. So I'm going to skip over the shorts, primarily because we don't know jack shit about them. Not that they're not important, and
Right. They're very
congratulations.
important.
congratulations to everyone who was nominated in those categories, but just for the sake of time and our knowledge of it, I'm gonna move past them. And I'm gonna jump to best original score. So our nominees are Bugonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. I'm going to say Sinners because I think that film, like the heart of that film is music. I think Ludwig Göransson is such an up and coming, not even up and coming anymore, just such a rising star though, and I think there's such this like tangy kind of Southern Bayou sound that they really accomplish while they mix it with this kind of popish rock, and it just works so well, and it's so soulful. So that's probably where I'd throw my hat to right now.
Yep, agreed. I mean, he's so dialed in. He is the newest composer that is gonna and already is one of the greats. So not surprised he's taking this one.
Yeah, I'm with you. Sinners, 100%.
If not Sinners, I think Johnny Greenwood, One Battle After Another. I think this is a little proxy war for Best Picture here.
Yep.
Because I know there's been a lot of love in the industry for Greenwood and his score, but I think Sinners is taking it.
Yep. And don't forget, All Quiet on the Western Front won a few years ago, and that score is very in your face and different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great score, but similar to One Battle After Another, where it's like very memorable because it's very unique. I think it has a good chance.
I agree totally. Best original song. We have Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless.
Yep.
We have Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters. I Lied to You from Sinners. Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verdi. And Train Dreams from Train Dreams. Our good pal Diane Warren with her yearly Oscar nomination.
There again. Yep. There she is.
You know, she has now the most Oscar nominations of all time without a win. 17 Oscar nominations,
Impressive.
0 wins.
You guys don't like her or what?
Apparently the Academy doesn't like her. I mean,
well, it's not that we don't like her. It's the fact that movies that aren't Oscar. Well, it's okay that movies that aren't Oscar make it into the that's awesome. But it's the fact that most of her music, in my opinion, plays in the credits of the movie, which I don't know. That kind of doesn't sit well with me because is it really part of the movie?
Well, I don't agree with that because, I do think it's part of the movie. I think if it's written for the movie and it's in the movie, then it's fair game.
Yeah,
My thing is, she's just there every year. She's not. They don't give it to her, and it's almost just like,
just give up.
It's almost like a. I don't want to say a waste of a spot. I can't believe Wicked couldn't even get into this category. They wrote two original songs, and they put that. What is Viva Verdi? What? They couldn't even give Wicked one fucking nomination for The Girl in the Bubble or something. One. Well, I can't believe it.
I'm going Golden. I'm just gonna shout that out. I'm going Golden.
Yeah,
K-pop
I'm gonna go
Demon
Golden.
Hunters.
I think that's going to win, but I think I Lied to You from Sinners should win. My argument there is that Golden is very poppy. It's very catchy. It's viral. That's great. I just think similar to Ludwig Göransson's score, I Lied to You is just such a more resonating song, a much more resonating song. It is. I mean, I haven't seen K-Pop Demon Hunter, so I don't know how Golden plays into it, but I Lied to You is just such a important piece of Sammy's character. So much narrative storytelling is told through that music. And he learned to play the guitar. He never played I just think it's a better song personally, and that's subjective, of course, but they're going to give it to the big catchy one of the year, and that's whatever. But I don't know if I could say I've heard it, and I don't know if I would say Golden is a better song than I Lied to You. But it will probably win.
But I do like how it works its way into the movie. It is part of the movie. It plays in the movie, and it makes sense.
I Lied to You is in the movie.
I know. I'm just saying against movies where the music plays in the credits. I like when it's incorporated and it makes sense in the context of the movie, not only as a song standpoint on its own.
So you're glad that random Miley Cyrus song that they wrote for Fire and Ash for some reason didn't make it in, because that was
I didn't even know that was a thing. I haven't seen that movie. I didn't know she came out with that.
It was in the credits, right?
It was the credits, and it was the weirdest thing. It was what the fuck? This doesn't even feel like Avatar.
Yeah, I know.
All right, we have a couple more categories to run through. Let's do best casting next. We have Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. So this is a brand new category, never
Mhm.
done before. There's no like pretext, no history, past years for us to judge it on. First time. I I also think Sinners is going to win it. And the reason why I think Sinners is going to win it is compared to Killian, I thought you made some interesting points about One Battle's acting earlier. My take on it is Sinners is just more of an ensemble film. You know, there are our characters, they're playing off each other, they're all together. There's a lot of well-rounded performances. The One Battle After Another is a lot more isolated in its pockets. There's great scenes, great performances.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and I don't even know what they base this off of, this category. I think it has more to do with like the casting director.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know, but
so.
I think Sinners is gonna win it.
I'm going Sinners also.
Sinners makes sense. I would like to see Marty Supreme because there were some interesting faces in that movie. Some
That's a good
people that are like fit so well in that movie and may have never been in a movie before. And I
Yeah.
think that that just satisfies that category so well and is fitting. But I do also like how we have movies like Hamnet that isn't this huge, huge cast, but it's well casted. So I think we have kind of this moving dial, this sliding dial that it could go any way, but I think Sinners is the safest bet.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on to the one category that used to be two, and that's best sound.
Okay.
We have F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Seurat sneaking in there. So what are we thinking here, guys?
I saw
I'm
Seurat was about a rave or something, about a party, music. I saw the poster was like speakers. So now I'm like, okay, that has a chance, but I'm gonna go with F1.
I'm also going F1. I was watching that movie. I was like, "Holy shit, am I there right now?" Like, it was just it was great. I'm going F1.
Yeah, it's a very bombastic sound design, you know, in the way, I mean, I think especially with its mixing, you know, we talk about the
Mhm.
two separate categories and trying to key out the difference, you know, I mean, the track and the cars and, you know, you have obviously the pit stop sounds. It flows well. It really filled the theater. And F1 got into a lot of technical categories. You think they might give it one. This feels like the one they're going to give it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
I would say F1. Best production design, we have Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. This is an interesting category. What are we thinking here?
I'm gonna have to go Frankenstein. I think
Mm.
having that I don't even know how to describe it. It's not like noir, but it's like the old
It's a
like
very
English
gothic.
Victorian, yeah, like Gothic style. I mean, just the world building, and then you have when you have the present day, that was all like the past stuff, and then you have the present day, like the farmhouses, and then the ice, the boat on the ice. Like I just thought it all looked
Mm.
so
Point.
great. Nothing to me ever looked like, yeah, this is a green screen. Oh, this is fake. Oh, this is bullshit. It all just was so like meticulously designed. I think Frankenstein's taking it.
I'm comfortable with Frankenstein. I think Sinners will win just because of the juke joint, but I think Frankenstein, I could see that argument as well.
I'm not really sure how One Battle ended up in here because they didn't build the fucking road, but like, you know, okay.
Maybe they
It
did.
looked like
They
they
paved the
did.
road.
They definitely didn't. It existed before that. Yeah,
Gotta go.
they paved it over and they were like, that counts.
Yeah.
Um I'm gonna go Frankenstein as well because it is such an immersive world that is built with that set. You have the ship, it's fantastic.
Uh-huh.
You have Victor Frankenstein's like castle, just this big, gigantic set piece. So I think that those were some of the most memorable parts of that film. So I think they're gonna give it there. I could see Sinner certainly winning it too. Um, our next category is a fun one. Best cinematography. We have Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams. Um, I'll start here. I think Sinners is gonna take it. I would this be the first woman to win best cinematography if that happened? I'm not 100% sure. I don't know that off the top of my head, but that would be an inspired win. It's also so beautifully shot. I think that, you know, the different cinematic choices of his shots, you know, and all his shot selection for Coogler and Autumn Durald Arkapaw, the cinematographer, director of photography. Like, I just think it's so intentional, you know, and that is something that really stuck out to me when I watched it. But my hot take is it could be Adolfo Veloso for Train Dreams.
I
That
was
is
just
such a
gonna say that.
visual spectacle. If it's not Sinners, I think it's that.
I agree. I think if they're taking it any time, it's gonna be Train Dreams for cinematography. I think if Train Dreams is gonna take it, this is the one to take it. Yeah, I totally agree. That movie was beautiful.
I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna go with Train Dreams just because the name sounds like it's shot very well. So I'm gonna go with
Yeah,
that. And then, well, I was
that
gonna say
film.
Marty Supreme. I just love how many close-ups there are, but there's not these like there's not something you would put a poster on a wall for Marty Supreme, but there's probably shots that you would like be influenced by from Train Dreams.
Certainly deserves its spot in the category. I won't argue that.
For time restraints, should we just run through the next ones like really quick?
Let's
We got
do
4
it.
more.
Love
Just go through the
I mean,
nominations and just say
we
what we.
basically are. We basically are.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's keep
we're
it going. We have 4 more. Best makeup and hairstyling. We have Frankenstein, Kokuho. I've never even heard of that one. Sinners, The Smashing Machine, and The Ugly Stepsister. This one is a shoo-in. I think Frankenstein has taken it. Obviously,
Yep.
the transformation of Jacob Elordi is remarkable. But I will just say, Smashing Machine, as disappointing as it was, they do a really good job on the makeup with The Rock in that movie.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
to
I
see
think
it, but I'm gonna go.
we're both going
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Yeah.
Yep.
Best costume design. I know we're going quick. This had a head scratcher though. Avatar,
absolutely.
Fire and Ash.
Yeah.
You also have Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. How the hell did Avatar, Fire and Ash get into costume?
The fabric on the cloth, the little cloth covering the crotch.
With his sweatshirt cheeseburger.
That is the most, yeah. That is the most asinine nomination, I think, of the whole.
That's so funny.
Like, you couldn't give Wicked that one? Really?
Yeah,
You gave it to
I know.
Avatar?
And it won last year, so
It
it's
won.
unfortunate.
I was shocked when they
I
said
know.
that. So I just want, that was funny. I don't know. I'm between two here. I'm between Frankenstein and Sinners. I'm probably going to lean Frankenstein's costume design, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sinners take it. And did you guys know with Sinners that those costumes were bought from the Blade movie that Marvel can't get off the ground?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
So
Wow.
kind of Blade would be winning
Yeah.
an Oscar.
It's honorary
in a
an
way,
Oscar.
You know,
Kevin
I'm
Feige will
also
get
going
one.
Frankenstein.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
Sinners for this one.
Could be either
That's fair.
or.
That's
I
fair.
think it
Yeah.
could be either or. Best film editing. I know this is a fun one for you, Kill. We
I
have
always love it.
F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. Oh, and Honora? What? No, I'm kidding. And Bohemian Rhapsody? No, so those are our nominees. What are we thinking real quick?
Well, as the professional editor, I'm gonna go with F1 is gonna win because it's the most showy. It's the most obvious that there's a lot of cuts going on there. I think the underdog here, which I would love to see, is Marty Supreme. I think the editing is phenomenal and the pacing of the movie is amazing. But F1 just sounds right. I think Ford vs Ferrari won a few years back, so it makes sense to me.
Yeah, F1 does sound right. I think I might go One Battle, but F1,
Mm.
I would not be surprised at all.
Well, I would pick F1, but I think they're going to go one battle after another, especially the
Okay.
way they edited that road scene. You know,
Yeah, that's
obviously,
exactly
so-
what I think of. When I think of that.
I think that's going to be what really sticks out for voters.
This is what's
Um,
fun is editing is anything and everything. So it may any of these are deserved. Like it's the way you look at it.
I agree, yeah, because you know,
Mhm.
I think we look at it, we assume F1 because it's the flashier editing for sure. You know, but I do think that all of these, with maybe the exception of Sentimental Value, their editing is like actually a standout part of the film. So you know, whereas you guys know how I feel about Honora, but you know,
Well, and this is a hot take. I haven't seen Sentimental Value, but I've heard that it takes place past and present. Is that right?
sort of, you know, mostly present though, but
Okay.
sort of.
Because there's been nominations where it's like, wow, that movie was so edited or so well edited because past and present. I think the exception there's Oppenheimer because it does a good job at blending them together.
I was going to
and
say,
doing it
did
in
Oppenheimer
style.
win Best Editing?
I don't know if it won. Maybe it was Poor Things. I don't
It
know.
was one of those two, I think.
Anyways, I think that that is not editing if it's like, wow, because like the time period here and like Weapons, amazing movie, but the editing is not how it takes place in different stories. That's the writing. I love
Mhm.
the way it was edited. Sure,
The
yeah,
split
you're right. It is.
chapters.
But the split chapters, that is a writing and director decision. That's not
Uh,
an editing decision. So just want to put that out there. It is great
Mhm.
to edit stuff like that, but I'm sure it wasn't the editor's decision to make it that way because it's so
Right.
intentional.
Right. All right, and we have one more category that is best visual effects. We have Avatar: Fire and Ash, F1, Jurassic World Rebirth. Wow, deja vu talking about that with you two. The Lost Bus and Sinners. I can't imagine them not going Avatar. I
Yeah.
mean, I
no.
know it didn't. I know that this is the first Avatar film to not get Best Picture as a nomination, but I mean, everything about that is its visual effects, its CGI, and its huge advancements in the technological aspects of storytelling. The way they bring Pandora to life, I can't see anything else winning it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's got to be a lock. I can't believe Jurassic World got nominated. That was crazy to see
Is that
that.
am I correct in saying that's the first Jurassic World film of any of them besides like Park, I guess, to be nominated for an Oscar?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised.
I feel like Jurassic World 1 was nominated for visual, but I could be wrong.
Maybe.
But
I
I'm
don't know.
also I'm also going Avatar with you.
Yep.
I can't believe they put Jurassic World Rebirth in here. What you know what? Maybe the Lost Bus. Maybe we all get surprised and the
Maybe.
fucking Lost
Fuck it,
Bus
it's on
wins.
Apple
Maybe
TV.
on
Let's go
like
check it out.
Suicide Squad. Like it just happens. Slips in
Uh,
there.
so those are our 98th Academy Award nominations that we
We're
ran
probably
through.
gonna change as it gets closer a little bit, but I
Yeah,
think those are pretty. We agreed on most of them, so that means the front runners are there in bold.
we'll see how the races all continue to play out. The Oscars are on March 15th, 2026 at the Dolby Theater in Hollywood. So a lot can still change between now and then. And, here at the Box Office Dynasty, we're going to continue to talk about it and keep track of it leading up to the big night. And Kill, I'm sure you'll join us again, hopefully
I
before
hope so.
the
If you'll
big
have me.
show, so we can give some final thoughts, play some games. It should be really exciting. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot
Yeah,
of
that was
fun, you
awesome.
I
guys.
love talking Oscars. I love talking movies. I love talking to you both. So thanks for including me in on this discussion.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Of course,
thanks,
we love
thanks,
having you here.
thanks, thanks for joining us, Kill.
Of course.
Everyone go check out his work if you want to plug yourself real quick.
Most of
Um,
my work is on Discover Florida channel on YouTube. I worked on shows like Flip My Florida Yard, Protector Paradise, and For the Love of Honey. So feel free to check it out.
all right. When
Do you want to
we
do a seesaw? Do you want to
Oh,
end it?
do you have
I was gonna say,
time for the seesaw?
I could save my seesaw if you have a second.
I think we could run through them pretty quick.
All
Let's do
right,
it. If you guys are ready to wrap
Kill.
this thing up,
I
I'll
knew
stay for
you
you
had to
guys. I'll
get.
do it for
I knew
you.
you had to get going. That's why I was like, "Do we want to pause? Let you get out?" But no, if you got a seesaw, why don't you throw it
Let's
at
do
us?
it quick. Let's run through these. So I'll start because I'm the one pushing this here. My saw was I saw a Knock Knock. That is the Eli Roth directed movie starring Keanu Reeves. That movie is just the perfect sleepover movie. It's so incredibly cheesy. You just don't know if the decisions made were intentional or whether to be funny or super serious. It's just crazy and it's so bad it's good. I really enjoyed it. So highly recommend that. And something I want to see is I'm going through these 101 movies of 2026. These are 101 movies that I do every year. I like to pick out movies that have been on my watch list that people have recommended. And I like to try to see if I could watch all of them by the end of the year. So while I'm playing video games, sometimes I like to put on a movie. So I've been putting on movies, and one of them I put on was Top Secret, starring Val Kilmer. And I realized 2 minutes in that the whole movie seems like it's visual gags, like Airplane, Naked Gun. So I just want to sit down and watch that one. It looked very enjoyable.
Very cool. Very nice. All right, I'll go next. This is a whole. My seesaw is something that all three of us could argue about for hours. So I'm just gonna say it quick, and we'll just go leave it at
Yep.
that.
I know
All
what it
right,
is.
Kill, you got some time?
This is the perfect time for it.
I'll roast Gideon on
Um,
this.
all right, so I saw Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring. I thought it was so boring. It's been
Yeah.
taking me
Wow.
so long to watch it, but my biggest critiques were that it's the same thing recycled for 3.5 hours. It's them walking. Oh, then these like ghost demons show up, and then they get attacked, and Frodo gets stabbed. Okay, then they walk some more, and then another bad guy shows up. Sometimes it's the ghost demons, but they kind of disappear by the end of the movie, like the wraiths. They're just gone for no reason. There's like the 9 wraiths or whatever, and then guess what? Mountain Troll stabs Frodo again. Oh my God, Frodo got stabbed again. Now we have to save Frodo again. Then they walk some more, and then that's the end of the movie. Very repetitive. I love Aragorn. I love Legolas. That's why my C, what I want to see is I'm very excited. Today I'm watching the second movie. Is that the Two Towers?
Mhm.
Yep. Don't
I'm
post on
watching that
Letterboxd.
today. I'm gonna, yeah, you'll see it on my letterbox. I'm watching the Two Towers today, and then probably next week I'll finish it off with Return of the King. I love Aragorn and I love Legolas, and Legolas is barely in. He has like 3 words in the first movie, but I know they're a lot more prevalent in the second and third. So I'm actually excited. I have an open mind for those. Just not a big fan of the first one.
I don't know if I would have put it out in the public airwaves of that opinion, but
We
you
could
know,
cut
I
it.
mean,
Yeah, I
Well, we're
edited
happy you
it.
watched it. That's what's great is you
Yeah.
watched it. We don't agree, but you watched it. So
I
congrats.
finally got through it.
I will never be able to. I don't. I think it'll always pain me that you actually rated the Stranger Things finale higher than Fellowship. Like
Yeah.
that, I
Wow.
just can't imagine it. Like I
It
just
was
can't.
Stranger Things was bad, but I wasn't bored.
Stranger Things was so bad, so fucking bad.
Sure,
like it just,
but at least I was a little bit entertained.
were we? I don't know. Anyway, I'll go quick. Something I saw recently is one of the only great Scorsese films that I had never checked out before, which is Casino, starring Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Sharon Stone. This is another one of these iconic entries in that, collaboration of De Niro and Scorsese. I can always watch Joe Pesci get the shit beat out of him every single time. Like, it's always so much fun. This is a really incredibly entertaining film. Tells the underground world based on a true story of the Las Vegas underground world. I thought it was incredible. Speaking of Oscars, that's one that deserved more love that year at the Academy Awards. And something I want to see is the new Sam Raimi film Send Help, starring who's
Rachel
in that
McAdams,
one again?
Dylan O'Brien.
Yeah, Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. I'm hearing great things. It's about a boss and their employee who gets trapped on an island, and it apparently is Raimi's return to his real horror roots, very Evil Dead-esque. Looks a lot of fun. All the trailers I've seen, it looks a lot of fun. So that's a film I'd like to check out soon.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you, Killian, for being here.
Yep.
We appreciate you. We love
thank you,
having you
guys.
here.
Yep, I love you
Make sure
too.
everyone checks out his work. Keep commenting Bible study films. You guys have any final words to say?
Watch the Oscar movie. There's a lot of great stuff to watch. So watch it, not just the Oscar stuff. Watch 2026. Watch old movies. Watch all movies. But importantly, watch the nominees. Don't be so quick to judge if you don't agree with something. Have an opinion. Watch it and then have an
unless
opinion
it's
on
Lord of the Rings, then you can
it.
be quick to judge.
Then you can't have certain opinions.
But yes, just subscribe, comment, share with your fellow friends and film lovers. We appreciate everyone out there. Thanks for joining us, Kill. Tell Sid I say hi.
Yes, and she would love to join in sometime on this Oscar talk as she's part of the ballot and the
she can be here. She can be here.
When I finish Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, absolutely. Try to finish before Oscar so she can rip you apart.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Thank you guys.
Boys.
Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Peace.